Okay, hello everyone. I'm Robin from Zhong roll forming machinery. Today I will introduce the purlin interchangeable roll forming machine for you. First, let me introduce some working flow of these machines. The first part is the decoller. This decoller is 5 tons. The capacity of this decoller is 5 tons because the purlin raw material thickness will be up to 3 millimeters, and this machine can produce 1.5 to 3.0 millimeters materials. And you can see the connector of the decoller has a screw to this part, and you need to manual to expand and shrink this part. And this decoller has a brake behind, has a brake of this part. You can see the details. Have a brake. If the decoller run so faster, once the machines run faster, you can use the brake to let it slow down. And this part, you can see it has the two rollers to let the materials into the machines. The two rollers materials is stainless steel. It's very can use for a long time and will be not be rusted. They have two support rollers to support the raw materials, and these rollers can also do this. And you can see this part is a pre-cutting system. The pre-cutting system to prevent that you will not lose so many materials when you production. And when the machine running and the production process is finished and your commission is finished, for example, you want to produce 10 pieces 3 meters products, and after that you can set parameters on the PLT control systems, and when the machines produce 3 meters 10 pieces, it will cut and the machine will automatically running in the behind. So for this part it's very necessary for you. So if you choose this part, you need to only add $2,000 to add this device in your machines. And after that, you can see there have the leveling system. Why we add the leveling system in this part? Because the leveling system will let the steel coil be more straightening. Because when you can see the raw materials is 1.5 and 3.0 millimeters thickness. So if the decoller the coil in the beginning of the coil will have some curve. So this part will let the curve be straightening, and there have two rollers have power to let the raw materials go inside into the machines. If this part has no power, we cannot let the steel coil go into the machine so easy. And in this part, it also has the powers. These 4 rollers have the powers to light the raw materials and go inside the machines. And there has 7 sets of rollers about the leveler. In this part, we can adjust the putting width of the raw materials, because these purlin interchangeable roll forming machines can produce so many sizes about the purlin and the purlins. In the bottom size is 150 to 300. So you can change this part to produce different widths of the products. And this have 4 guiding rollers to guide the raw materials into the machines. And you can see the rest of the part. This part, you can see there have so many motors. This motors is for changing the sizes of C to Z, and can also change the bottom width of the C purlin and the Z purlin. You can see there has some buttons. There have some buttons in this part. These four buttons is to changing the width of the bottom size of the C purlin and the Z purlin. And this part can also change the size of C to Z. Once you want to change the sizes, but the PLC is far from of the bottom of the machines. So we need these buttons to let it changing sizes more easily. And you can see the surface of the rollers is very shiny because the rollers materials of this rollers is 45 steel with charmed. So sometimes you will see other quotations will be a GCR12 quenched. So we use 45 steels to make these machines. So this machine price will be more cheaper than the GCR12. So you can check this. It's very hard. It's very hard and shiny. You can see that all around these machines don't have any hydraulic pump stations because the hydraulic pump stations is integrated with the machines. It will be a whole machines, don't have the separate part. Because once we load these machines into the containers, will be have some hydraulic pump, PLC control system, PLC cabinet. So we use this to let it be more easily because there have so many wires need to contact, so many oil pipe need to contact. So it's very, very complicated to do this part. So many customers tell me that, Robin, your machines is very, very complicated to connect the wires and the oil pumps. So can you help me in this part? So in this part, we designed these new designs. The pumps, the oil pipes can directly connect with the oil pump, and the connecting wires is very easy to connect to the PLC cabinet. And in this part, you can also see there has some buttons. There has some buttons in this part. This buttons is for CZ changing sizes, and this buttons is for the bottom width of the CZ purlin changing. Because sometimes we need to debug these machines. Maybe the sizes is not so correct. Maybe the width is not exactly the width which I want to produce. So we use the buttons to make some debug. And after debug, we don't use these buttons anymore. And these machines will go to our customers' factories, and you can directly use these machines for your production. And these machines, main motors is 22 kilowatts. Servo motor to run these machines. So this machine's running speed can be very fast. Later, I will let our engineer to operate these machines and test these machines for you. This is our PLC computer control system. You can set parameters in this PLC and let the machine running and production. You can set so many commissions in these machines, and after the commissions is over, the machine will stop. And it has the emergency stop. Once the machines has some problems, you can use these buttons to let the machine emergency stop. And these machines have 5 punching stations. 2 is for the side punching hole, and 3 for the middle punching hole. 1 is for round hole, 2 is for rectangular holes. And you can change the punching positions by adjust this part. You can see there has two parts to adjust the punching width of this, and you can also adjust this part to change the punching width. Maybe in the beginning, once the machine is in our factory, we will test these machines according to your sizes which you provide for me, and then we will test these machines according to your sizes. But if these machines arrive your factory, you need to adjust which you want to do by yourself. For example, the middle punching hole has the distance to the both of the side has 50 millimeters. You want to punch 100, so you need to adjust 50 millimeters. That is too easy, very easy to do. And this is a cutting knife. Is a cutting knife of the 3D printing machines. You can see there, one cutting knife can cut so many sizes of the 3D printing machines. And you can also see the punching hole. You can see the punching hole, round hole, rectangular, and why we don't have the side hole? Because our punching mode is very big, so cannot. You can see this, the punching hole in the side part, and this don't have the side punching hole because our punching mode of the side hole is very big, cannot go inside in this part. Our cutting knife can adjust the height, the width for cutting so many sizes. For example, if you want to produce the C-pralines very big, you can adjust this part to let the height of the cutting knife will be raised up. And if you want to cut more width products, you need to adjust this part to let the width changing. And you can see this part. Before that, I said that the wires connection of these machines is very complicated. So I can open this PLC cabinet to show you about this part. The wire is very tidy. You can see every details in this part. This is a PLC control system, and this is a servo motor control about the main motors. Because servo motor need a servo control system to control it, and the wire is very tidy, so you don't worry about the wire connection. And this part, you can see there has so many plugs. If you think the wire connection is very, very complicated, so we use this design to help you save time. So many customers send me message about this. Robin, I waste almost 2 days or 3 days or almost 1 week to contact the wires, but we have the plug. Every plug has on each connection pin. So if you insulate in different holes, it cannot do that because every plug has its own connection pin. And this part, the hydraulic station has its own motors. This motors is 11 kilowatts motors to run the punching holes and run the cutting knives. I think this is more enough for customers, but these servo motors, we designed 22 kilowatts servo motors will be let the machines running more faster. And you can see this machine's driving method is chain drive. This chain is China made, and the length of the chain is 1.2 inch. 1.2 inch. It's very, very long time use. You can no worry about this because sometimes you will think it's a chain. You need to have some more spare parts for this part, because once the chain is loose or broken, you need to change it, but this part can use for a long time. You can see this has so many gears around these machines, because our rollers is very big and heavy, so we use big gears to let it run more easily, and this gear is iron cast. It's very hard and long time use, so sometimes maybe have some customer will use these gears with some broken, but our gear will not have this method, because you just need to put the oils into it and to let it more straightening. It can be done, and it can for use long times. OK， 先停一下吧。Next, we will test these machines and show you how fast the machine can be. And we will start to let the machine shooting in the beginning of the decoller, and then to the cutting part, punching part. You can see all the details. OK, let me start. 开始吧。OK 了。OK。
不拿走的话，它不走。
对。
拿走
一会儿我试试。这个保护器叫什么名字呢 ？Sensor。传感器。OK， 停吧。Okay, I don't know if you see this part, the sensor. After the testing, let the finished products after cutting, it will be get out. But if sometimes like this part, we don't have the product receiving tables, so it will be still inside the machines. And then after that, the products will go out of the machines, and this part will be damaged. So this sensor is keep this part. So when the machine's products cannot go outside, the machine will be stopped. And after you pull this out, the machine will automatically running again. So in this part is very important, can help you to save some cost about the broken products. 这就行了。